It's 6:15 p.m. on a Monday afternoon, and I am out here in the garden, and I just want to talk about what I have been using to plant my plants in. And here in my backyard, I have 4 containers that I am using to plant my vegetables in my backyard. So in my backyard, you'll find that I have metal raised beds, I have grow bags, I have plastic totes, and I also have some wooden raised beds. So 2 to 3 years ago, when I started this garden, I planted in wooden raised beds, and so I would normally collect the pallets because they were building quite a bit of houses in my area. So I would collect the pallets, those that are marked HT, and then I would take them home. I would remove individually the little boards, and then I would join them together to make my own raised beds. As you can see, these are not fancifully done, or their structure is not as sound as others are able to do, but I have figured out how to get all the wood boards together, and able to make myself a raised beds. So here I have 3 that I had used the pallet to make. As you can see, I have this one here, not very cute. As you can see, I have used whatever I can to keep 2 pieces of board together. So this is my way. I am no builder. Then I have another one here. The other method that I had used, I would go to Home Depot and buy some 2x4. I would ask them to cut it to the length I want. Then I would come home and I would join 4 pieces together to make me a raised bed. So the next container that I've been using to plant in are metal raised beds. And these are the most recent ones that I acquired. Also, I've been planting in grow bags, and this is my first time using grow bags. First time using grow bags. So for the totes that I have here in my garden, these are recycled totes. If I'm driving in my community and I see, people moving and they put the totes by the roadside for the garbage truck to collect them, I would stop, put them in my vehicle, and I would take them home and then use them as my planting container. So these totes that you see here are all recycled totes. So instead of going to whether Walmart or one of those big box store to get these plastic totes. These are like thrown out. I collect them and take them home. So the issue that I have with the totes is that they get brittle over time with the sun and rain, like just constant exposure to the elements. They start breaking apart. So if I'm trying to move them, as you can see, these pieces start breaking. They're all, they start breaking apart. They get brittle and they break apart. So once I put the totes in place, I leave it. Trying to think how long I've had these totes. Maybe 2 years that I've had them. I think this one and another one up the and this other big one there. I recently saw them on the side of the road. I stopped and I got those totes. So yeah, that's how I get the totes. The bags, I think I have a 10 gallon, 7-gallon bags, and this is my first time using bags. I don't know how I feel about them yet. I don't think I've used them long enough to really, be able to give my honest opinion. But so far, I like the movability of the bags. If I have something in shade and I need it to go into sun, I'm able to move it, and vice versa. So I like that about it. The only issue that I face with the bags is that once you water it, they dry out so quickly. The water just seeps right out, and so it gets really dry in the bags. That's my only issue that I've seen. I remember, I think I was watching a YouTube video where someone put like a basin, put the bags in basin so the water can settle, and then that would act like a wicking method of keeping the bag moist and water in the bag. I don't know about that, and whether the roots would be sitting in water in the bottom of the bag. So I'm not sure about that. The metal raised beds I like. My only issue with the metal raised beds are that the screws, I may have rust, especially where the screws hold the raised beds together. But otherwise, I like it, and I like the smaller ones. I don't remember what is the size of this one. Maybe a 6x2 by 1. I think maybe a 6x2 by 1. I think this is the smallest one that I have, and I think this may be a 4x2 by 1. The smallest one. But what I like with them is I'm able to reach across when they are smaller. So especially this small one, I can stand on one side and reach across to the other side. So I can put it against an area that I may not be able to go around, because I can reach across. I'm able to reach across. So that I like about the small ones. Then I have a very big one. I think it's 8x4 by 2. Oh my God. Yeah, I think 8x4 by 2. So this is the biggest one that I have. No, the challenge with the big ones, it's more challenging to put together, and then having to move it in place. If you do not have the help to move it in place, it's more challenging to move it in place. Also, you're not able to stand on one side and reach to the other side. So with a bed like this, it's important that you're able to move around. You have space to move all around the bed. That makes this bed quite workable. Otherwise, apart from that, I love it because I can plant a lot of stuff in this one bed. Then, as you can see, having some rusting. See at the where the nails or the screws actually, where the screws hold the metal together. So that you can see having some rust in that area. With the board raised beds, you can see it's falling apart. This one is falling apart over time. They get old and the boards start falling apart. And so that's one of the reasons why I decided to switch to the metal raised beds and see how how better that will work for me. So right now I have Irish potatoes in the bags. I also have Irish potato in a tote bin right here. I'm not sure, they're not looking really awesome. However, at the end of the, when they're all dried, I will definitely see the difference when it was in comparison. I will see the comparison, planting in totes and planting in bags, how the potatoes did. So I am looking forward to seeing that. Right now, I think this is lemongrass that I have in ground right here. And I'll plant some flowers in ground and fruit trees in ground. But at this time, I mostly plant in raised beds and the tote bins. Yeah. So that's the 4 containers that I'm using to plant my plants. As you can see, this raised bed has seen better days. It is falling apart, it's rotting. Some areas, you can see the board separating from here. So sometimes you'll have the soil falling out over the side here. And so definitely the metal raised beds is a game changer for me. That definitely saved me from having to make a new bed because this one is falling apart. All right, guys, so that's what I'm using to plant my vegetables in. And I'll see at the end of the life of my potatoes, see how well the grow bags do. And so far, I don't think I'll change the grow bags. Maybe I'll try other ways to keep the grow bag moist. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.